Hello, this is the wiki for Sarah Howard. Uh, right now we are at wikispaces.com. If you wanted to sign up and start your own wiki, you would click on this link here, Wikis for Individuals and Groups, um, which would provide you with a free wiki page. I already have an account, so I'm going to go ahead and sign in. Oops. There we go. Okay, this is the dashboard page. Once you went ahead and signed up for an account, you would be taken here. From here you could create a new wiki. You just click on the button. There are several tutorial videos to help get you started on adding content to your pages. If you need help, there's a little help section here. Has some links and information on where you can find out what you need to know about. Up here is my wiki. I did a unit on trees and plants, so we're going to go ahead and go there. And it takes you to the welcome page for the wiki. If you ever wanted to change anything or add content to your wiki, all you need to do is click edit, and it comes up with the toolbar, which allows you to put in widgets, upload a file, make a link. Again, all these things are items that you could watch in the tutorial videos. Okay, so let me explain this wiki a little bit. Again, this is a unit on plants and trees for a unit on plants and trees. I have geared it towards younger learners, so some of the content is a little bit simplified. Obviously, you could make it as in-depth as you choose. I chose to keep it a little bit simple for younger learners. This wiki contains a couple different pages. We have the home page here. We'll talk about parts of the plants and trees, why they're important, and then there's a citation and resource page. Just to make it easier, obviously all the pages are listed here on the left-hand side. To make it a little bit simpler, I went ahead and linked two of the main content pages right from the welcome page. So we'll go to parts of the plants and trees. This page has pretty much the bulk of the information for this wiki right now. We have some paragraphs talking about the different parts of the plant or tree. They talk about the purpose that it serves. In this section where we talk about leaves, branches, and stems, we also hit on chlorophyll and photosynthesis. Those are two pretty much main topics that you would take away from this section. I went ahead and linked some sites to this paragraph. This is a cute little site for kids. The vocabulary used in it is something that is easy for them to understand. And you could really go in depth on what chlorophyll is. This page has a lot of links, so again, just depending on how in depth you wanted to get, you could really talk about several different pieces of this subject. Same thing with photosynthesis. We've got a link here to this Globe Bio. I use this site a couple times in this wiki because it's got good information, simple, to the point. It also has some games that you can play. So it's pretty interactive. It's got a lot of different topics. So I use it a couple times here in this wiki. Okay. I also have included a little video that talks about photosynthesis. Again, a real main subject on trees and plants. So I'll play this video, just a little clip of it.
If you want to know how a plant grows, it takes water, air, and sunlight, and makes cellulose. Every plant can do this fundamental process, and we can call this photosynthesis.
Okay, so it's just a silly little song about the process of photosynthesis, but makes it easy to remember, and it's just another another tool for maybe some different learning styles for kids to kind of hit the point, uh, hit it home. So I also have just a diagram of how photosynthesis works. So if you wanted to use this maybe to aid in a discussion about photosynthesis, that would help as well. This page continues to talk about the rest of the parts of the tree, a little paragraph about the trunk along with the diagram and the roots. And in this paragraph, I've linked part of the GlowBio site. This is just a cute little pop-up from the site. What you would do is you could scroll over the parts of the tree and you would get a little pop-up window with a paragraph that talks about what that part is and how the plant uses it. Again, each one has its own section. It's got an extremely simplified version of how the plant creates oxygen. So again, it breaks it down into even more simpler view maybe for some kids who didn't quite grasp the concept earlier. Each page I have linked back to the home page. So in the event that this becomes a project that you build onto throughout the year maybe, or you just want to add more content to the home page, you could always come back here. All right, we'll go to the next page. Why are trees and plants important? Again, a little paragraph describing the information that we're talking about. I have linked the GlowBio site. These two links go to GlowBio. This one takes you to the home page, and this is really, if the teacher was previewing this wiki or somebody else wanted to use it other than the person creating it, they could come here, go to the educator section, and it's got some more resources. There's printable materials, there's just information on the subject. So, and then it also has a link to the section for children. And this little Billabong thing down here, this GlowBio is trying to create like a social network just for kids. So, that's something that you could look into if you wanted to. Okay. This page also contains a video of children discussing why they think trees and plants are important. And I like it because kids come up with some pretty cute things. And also, because this page is geared towards younger kids, this is a video of their peers talking about what they think. So the students in a class could really relate to some of the things that these kids say. In the middle section, I've just created a bulleted area of the main points of this page that we want to take away and really call out some of the important reasons why we care about trees and plants. And even though this is just a text area and there's no interactivity here, I think this is a good place to stop and say, if you're using this wiki, you stop and say, okay, trees are a vital component to the air we breathe. You could revisit the subject of photosynthesis. You could start a class discussion on, any one of these little bullets. You could use it in conjunction with other material that you might have. So it's a good way to bring this wiki into other types of information, not necessarily the other way around, bring other information just to the wiki. And I've also included the video of Dr. Seuss's The Lorax, because one, everybody likes Dr. Seuss. Well, maybe not, but two, the story is a really cute and colorful tale of why we should take care of our environment. And I like the story. I like the video. I also think that it would lend itself to a lot of other activities. Kids could journal or blog about comparing the world that the Lorax lives in with our everyday real world. They could talk about similarities or differences in the environment. They could parallel what we are doing to our environment with what was happening in the story. So it's a cute video and it lends itself to some other activities as well. Okay, covering the rest of the pages here, we've got the resource page. Unfortunately, this page takes a while to load, so hopefully it won't take long. Okay, this site has a list of websites that I have used either in this page or that contain some great activities, online learning, or online games. Most of these sites, obviously, you're going to want to preview them if you're going to use them in class. Most of the sites are really great and ad-free. This particular site right here has a lot of ads. Now, I included it in the wiki like this to the parent site, but what I would do if I was using this in class is I would directly link uh, some of these games and sheets just to avoid having a page with ads on it used in class. But for right now, it was just the best way to get everything together. So I have the websites listed. I also have several printable items that you could use. I use that Scribe site that the wiki suggests when you're trying to upload a document. And unless you have logged into that site, uh, if you directly click on the download, you're going to have an account for that site. But what you can do is view this in full screen and go ahead and print it like this if you don't have an account. So it's accessible to pretty much everybody. It's something that kids can do if they want to. You can use them for quizzes. Obviously, this wiki is ever evolving, like most of them are, and you could add much, much more. I also included a citation page. I'm sure that there is some form that it should be in, and unfortunately, I'm sure mine is not. But I did want to cite the pages that I use to compile information from. Okay, so that is my wiki on plants and trees. Again, I think it's a great tool to go along with other lesson plans. It is not something that stands alone. I think it would be a great class project to work on. You could go to some of the sites that I have listed. I know that Arbor Day, you can get, I think, 10 saplings from them, and you can make it a class project to plant some trees around the school or maybe a local park. You could document that, upload it to your wiki. You know, there's lots of different things you could do to include this in your lesson, but I think it's a good tool to use in cooperation with other materials. And that is the wiki on plants and trees.